Welcome to the A Players podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Haydon, investor, entrepreneur, and dedicated researcher of career success and wealth science. I work with very high income earners, and with this podcast, I'm on a mission to give everyone the opportunity to step into wealth by giving you the skills, tools, and actionable steps to navigate your career and step into wealth. Today, we're talking about one of those tools that allows you to do this. And this is a scientific tool backed by a lot of rigor, a lot of evidence in different contexts. And that's what we like on the A Players. Yeah. This is an opinion where someone's just created some little diagram and thrown it on Google. Yeah. This is actually tested scientific models. And that's the adaptive selling model, what we're talking about today. Because look, whether you like it or not, you are in sales. Yeah. If you've got kids, listening to the A Players podcast, you'll understand this. You are selling to them all the time. Yeah. And if you're not selling to them, they're selling to you. For those that you don't have kids, look, you were a kid once, you sold to your parents. Yeah. All the time. Can you have this toy? Can you have this? Can you have that? And I was selling to you and convincing you. Sales is life. Whether we like it or not, we are in sales. If you are sitting in a job right now, in a career right now, in any position right now, even if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, look, you need to know sales. Someone has sold you on that job. You are selling them on what you can deliver. So what about if we really harness that, understand the psychology of it, what's actually possible? Yeah. What's actually possible in advancing your career? Before we begin, just a reminder, this podcast isn't just theory. It's a hybrid of real life case studies from my work as investor and growing businesses and cutting edge science research that is not always readily available to the public. So it's up to me to give you that cutting edge, yeah. Give you the tools and the tangible steps to progress your career and step into wealth. No fluff, no bullshit, just actionable tools and relatable stories from entrepreneurs, executives, professors, and high performers here to share their insight as well, or to help you achieve more. Fair warning though, yeah, as you may have seen already, this does contain strong language, so it's not for everybody. Finally, the A Player podcast and community remains free. Yeah. It is my mission to give back and share with you, the listener, the knowledge gained from working with highly successful individuals and give you this extensive research around it as well. So if something does resonate with you, share this episode with somebody that you feel could help as well and be a part of that mission. For those eager to dive deeper and boost their income using these tools, having a laser focused tangible result. We've got the 100K Club membership on Spotify. This offers detailed guidance, yeah, the step-by-step of how you can take this episode and actually apply it. To get a part of that, simply just find the padlock icon on Spotify and click join. Yeah, it takes you to a page, you subscribe, and you're ready to go. So let's get started with today's episode. Adaptive selling. What is it for? Let's talk with the benefits first. So, improve customer relationships. Number one. So, by focusing on the customer's needs, salespeople can build stronger, more trusting relationships. In today's age, where everything is just created by AI or it's digital marketing, you don't know who you're talking to. A lot of influencers that you speak to on LinkedIn, on Instagram, whatever it may be, look, there's something that's in between. You might not even be speaking to them. You might be speaking to an employee of theirs. You might be speaking to a marketing agent. Most the way it's going, you're mostly speaking to a bot, yeah, AI. So in today's world, it's really important to have that customer relationship, improving it. Adaptive selling allows us to do that. We were just talking about the outcomes right now, yeah, yeah. So increased sales efficiency, being able to tailor the approach to the customer can lead to more effective communication and quicker sales cycles as well. So ultimately, as we can build that relationship, it allows us to move people faster, more decisive on items, which then, it does take time. Yeah, we've got to take time to build the relationships. People say, especially in sales, it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. Is it really? Is it really about the numbers? We want to be building the relationships, and we'll find that the numbers come just by increasing those relationships anyway. Yeah. So what else is it about? Higher customer satisfaction. Again, we get customers are more likely to be satisfied when they feel understood. Yeah. And when the solutions offered are closely aligned with what their actual needs are, Stephen Covey, I'll keep referring back to this book. Yeah. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Seek first to understand, then be understood. Because the amount of times that I see people in sales just try and grab something and throw it down someone's neck. Look, this is the way that this is going to be. And they're trying to sell, sell, sell. Listen, right? If you're the one that's doing all the talking, you're not selling. Selling is when they have that psychological click in their mind to go, fuck, I get it now. I get it. I see why this person's life is revolved around selling this item. I see why they're so passionate around it, the impact that it has. The only difference is, guys, is the gap between their education, their knowledge. They don't see what your product can actually offer to them right now. Yeah, or service can offer to them. And if you're the one who's talking and telling, a lot of people think that it's just about talk, 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 talk until that person buys. Well, it's not. Yeah, they need to make the decision and they need to have that penny drop. Bang. How do you do that? We're going to talk about this in adaptive selling. The way to do it, by the way, to cut the long story short, and just give you this research right now, is that they do that through you asking better questions. Yeah. When you can get their internal dialogue to start thinking a little bit differently, so it's they come up with the answer rather than you come up with the answer, that is where the sale happens. And the amount of time that people just try and hammer feature, 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 solution, 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 yeah, down people's throat, doesn't work. And number two, they try and hammer this stuff down without actually realizing and understanding what it is the problem that they actually have. Okay, so that person may have a certain service that they need, and the salesperson is just going, right, I'm going to do this for you, do this for you. And you're actually getting further and further apart because it's not actually what they want. How do you do that? You need to be able to find first, yeah, understanding what their actual needs are. So it needs a degree of emotional intelligence. Okay. And finally, competitive advantage. Salespeople who are adept at adaptive selling, they can often outperform those using a standard approach, especially in complex or highly competitive markets. Right. Look, okay, Lewis, I'm listening to the Eight Players podcast. You've told me that there's this 100K club as well I can be a part of. How does this help me increase my? I'm not in sales. Now, a lot of people that are listening to this may be in sales. And remember, you are all in sales because you are convincing somebody somewhere. And if you're going to have more influence, then you need to have an influence on everything that you do. Yeah, if you're on social media right now, you are influencing. Influencers influence. They're selling people. Yeah, they're always selling. How do you do this? Okay, so here's some steps to what adaptive selling. I'm going to give you what is there? I've got some notes I made here on it. 6 steps. There's 6 different items. I'll just put the headers down here to remind me of what they are in the best order to deliver it on a podcast. Otherwise, I can just go off on one because I get so excited about this. Yeah, because this is the bread and butter. If you don't know this stuff, then you're just going to go through life and opportunity can arise. And it's amazing that when you do understand this stuff, and when an opportunity does come, how much you can take advantage of it and just take it for granted, right? But if you don't know this, how much opportunity are you missing out on? So number one, understanding the customer. Seek first to understand, then be understood. Adaptive selling requires a deep understanding of that customer's business needs and preferences. So look, if you are an employee and you're trying to influence how you can go up that ladder, yeah, how do you do it? Well, okay, have a win-win conversation. We spoke about this in the 100K club already. Where do you get access to that? The padlock on Spotify. Click on it. Get in the 100K club. These tools are in there, yeah? So what else do? We understand their needs and the preferences. The salespeople often gather information through research, asking the questions and actively listening to the customer's responses. So you got to understand it. Asking questions, yeah? Listening to those responses. Paraphrasing. Ever heard of paraphrasing? That's a whole podcast in itself. We should do a podcast on paraphrasing. Yeah. We should have a podcast. If you want to have a podcast on paraphrasing, hit the like button, leave a comment in there saying, yes, paraphrasing. Just write paraphrasing in the comment box and I'll do a podcast on paraphrasing if people are interested. Yeah. I'm not going to waste your time, not going to waste my time if it's not something that you're interested. What paraphrasing is that to show that you've been understood, there are tools that you can use, such as paraphrasing, where you start to repeat the things back. And people say, oh, look, this is just some hack to show that, in sales. It's not just about that. There's a lot of psychology around paraphrasing as well. Okay. So paraphrasing is, to put it real simple, you're repeating back what that person's just said. Yeah. Why is that important? Why is that really important? Well, it's demonstrating that you're listening. So, Lewis, all I've got to do then is just write down some words that they've said and repeat. No, 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 no. There's a lot more to it than that. Okay, go and do some research on it. I can also add my research elements from it as well, if paraphrasing is something you're interested in. But look, asking great questions. Remember what I said before. They've got to have the penny drop, not you. Number two, flexibility. Salespeople must be flexible and able to change their sales approach based on the situation. Okay, so this isn't just situation. This is about communication styles as well. I follow people on Instagram and they're just like, do this and say this to your client. If client says this or potential client says this, say this. And I'm like, that's complete bullshit. Having one way of selling is not going to get you sales. Straight away, look at different profiling program systems. Yeah. For instance, a very simple profiling process is the DISC profile, DISC. Google it, check it out. Again, if DISC is something that you're interested in me talking about, drop it in the comments, DISC on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you're watching this right now, Instagram, and I'll talk more about it on there. But straight away, understanding different profiles, the D in DISC is very dominant. So they need to be really direct. So if you've got somebody that is an overanalyzer, yeah, a high C, a compliant person, being very direct with them, you're going to get them switch off, right? And a lot of people are. Look at different industries. If you're working with the IT industry and you're high D, you've lost them. Yeah. So good luck with all those fucking things that you see on Instagram because it's not going to work. You've got to have a lot more intelligence around that. There wouldn't be so many sales books created in the world if it was that simple. So flexibility, understanding it, really making it work. Social skills is number three. Strong interpersonal communication skills are crucial. Salespeople need to be able to read these cues, understand different personality types, and adjust their approach. Yeah. So having the social skills, how often are you practicing your social skills? Yeah. How often are you practicing your communication skills? When can you do it? Think about it. Every time that you go and meet somebody, every time that you go to the local store, you can practice it, making people feel a little bit better than when you left them. Your managers, your employees, yeah, your customers. Just practice it all the time because it's going to pay off. Small things pay off for big stakes. Product knowledge, number four. In-depth knowledge on the product or service being sold is necessary to the salesperson that can effectively match the features and benefits with the customer's specific needs. You've got to understand the products, and not just from an understanding the products that, look, I can do this and I can repeat it back in front of the customer. If you understand it just that little bit more than they do, understand that you can help them. So the more understanding you got around the product or service and you become a master of this stuff, yeah, I see people say, Lewis, can you come and speak for us on stage? And then some people spend ages procrastinating all week about how they're going to do this presentation. Look, I know this fucking stuff with a blindfold on. Get me on the stage to talk about this, I can backflip because I've done all these podcasts around it. I've done the 5 years of academic research around it. I've done the 10 years of business coaching around it. Yeah. So straight away, confidence levels are through the roof. Understanding your product knowledge increases your confidence. Problem solving, number five. Yeah, there has got to be an element of problem solving. It's interesting though. Do you actually listen with your two ears of what the actual problem is? Or are you just identifying it yourself and hammering it down? Yeah. It's not good just going, this is the problem. Oh, I get your problem. Look, we do this because it worked for the last customer, Bob. Yeah. For Sarah, the next one, she may have a totally different problem that she's trying to solve. So one thing doesn't fit all. And this is where number six kicks in, feedback and learning. Yeah. Always be getting that feedback. An adaptive salesperson learns from each interaction. They seek feedback. They look at their performance. We've spoke about this in the previous episodes, haven't we? Continuously refine their approach based on that work in different scenarios, looking at the fine detail. How many of you salespeople or wanting to get better at sales after this episode is actually recording? Are you actually recording yourself, listening back? Yeah. Just put your phone down, record the next conversation you have with somebody on the phone, listen to it back. And it's amazing. Most people won't do it. Yeah. Only the top 1% will do it. Not even that 0.1% will actually do it. That is gold medal athlete style. Yeah. Looking at the finite things so you can get better. So let me know, has this been useful to you? This is just an over summary of adaptive selling. What parts of this has been the biggest learning for you? Any gold nuggets that's standing out? Drop a like, drop some comments. Let us know what part of this is good for you. And remember, this podcast is free, but there is a fee. If you feel that anything in this you can share with a colleague, a friend, a family member, so it benefits them and helps them progress towards that 100K club, being an A player, then you'll be on mission for the A player if you shared it with them. Thanks for listening. And remember, be great.